Right, welcome back to the channel, guys. Now I'm just going to do a rundown of a festival I've just recently fished. It's a Daiwa Pole Fishing Masters at Tunnelbarn Farm. Now the reason why, I'm just out on a walk, so I've got the dog with me, she's there, and we're walking down by the banks of the River Dee. So bit of scenery behind us, but just want to run through every day of the Pole Masters, what went on, the practice days, how we got on overall, a few things I learned and how we got on. So just ignore a bit of boat coming past now, a bit there on the river. But yeah, first of all, went up on the Sunday, which was the practice match. So I think there was like 88 people on, big match, mainly people that are fishing the festival, to be honest. Scottish come down, everyone's come down. So I've drew a great peg on the day, 10 new, which is like a little narrow channel in between the two canals sort of things. Now the wind was coming down to my end as well, so it's coming down either side of canals. And I've had a lovely day there. I feel like I've learned a lot that day as well. Because I'm going down there, I want to go on the Sunday, I want to make sure I'm practicing, so I know I can get in tune with the venue and obviously try and catch a few fish and learn a few things. So I speak to Paul on a little bit because he drew on 44, which is like behind me to my right sort of, and he's drew 44. So speaking to him, now the day before he actually won the match, fishing pace shallow, so feeding slop, fishing pace, which is a bit unknown at Tunnelbarn. And I sort of like said, I'm not fishing pace, not doing stuff like that. But when I got to my peg and bit by something, I literally set up pellets in the edge, maggots on the top four, and casters up and down across to the reed. Real simple day. And he tripped over the dog then. And I just thought, right, that's what I'm going to do, see how it goes on. I had a nice little start on the edge on, just feeding micro and expander pellet, just catching a few stocky fish. They had a little big one, I think it got to like 10 or 15 pound. And then I've gone across on casters, not really caught. I could catch like one or two fish, and then I'd have to rest it somewhere else. But this is where the difference was. Every time I went on my maggot line, I went on it 3 or 4 times. I have to go down a load of steps here. Just watch myself on the trip up. Yeah, I'm at the famous like Eccleston stretch today. I think the club owns a stretch and walk along, but it's just a nice walk and the dog can have a swim, so just a bit easier stretch to go along. So yeah, I've dropped on that maggot line a few times and it's about 4 foot deep. Not had any bites, and I thought, it's just strange. Like, I spoke to Paul and he said there was no fish eating natural baits on the bottom, which is, you play it down a little bit, but then I've literally, that's what's happened. I've not caught anything on the bottom on my natural baits that day at all. So I thought, right, sod this. I had a bit of match method mixed up. So I've literally made a pace, rough and ready. I wish I took some proper pace with me, but just rough and ready paced. Boat coming back past. Yeah, rough and ready paced. Literally, I've used the same rig as my maggot rig. Just put a size 14 SFL on. It's a duck with a tree. And I've literally just fed a few micro pellets, bit of ripped up paste, dropped it in, left it for 10 minutes, dropped in, and then had a run of probably 10 or 12 big gold things. Now that just twigged to me, right, got to be on the right bait at the right time. And then as I've gone on through the day, I've caught an odd one on pace still, but that went a bit funny late on. And I think what happened was, it was a bit overcast, but then the sun's broke through. The old lake's warmed up a bit and everything's gone and sat in the cover. So I literally had a real good run on that caster shallow across late on. So I think I weighed like, 140 pound, which actually won the match that day. So I had a nice little start, lovely pickup, nice to win a big match as well. So a lot of confidence, felt like I learnt a lot for the Pole Masters on the first day. Now, got to the venue. You have to excuse me, the dog will go for a swim. Looks a lovely peg, this one, though, doesn't it? Whoop. And he fell on the bank. Try and find a stick for her. There's not normally a stick. Chuck this in for a shoe go in anyway. As it goes. Yeah, so I'm going to carry on. So first day of the Masters I drew 22 on the top pull, which is a real wide peg. And what I mean by that is the set of lilies about 16.5, 17 metres further out. So I spoke to Paul because he filmed a live match on it again. It's so useful knowing people like Paul that fish it a lot. Just get that little hints and tips just to give you that edge to try and catch more fish. So I'm try and find another thing for the dog here. Oh, she's going after that. Distracting me. Go on. She goes. Yeah, he said to me, literally, it was dead hot, dead bright like today. And he said to me, you're going to have to ship to that cover and hope you catch enough. I did plumb up a pace line short. I've missed 4 bites and it never caught anything, so I didn't fish that again all week. I just felt like it was one of them days where it was right on the day, but it wasn't right on that peg. I think it was because it was narrow on that new pull. I think everything's concentrated into you, but on that day at top pull, because it's so wide, I think it's not going to work because the fish are further away from you. I did pot some ground bait in the edge. I had like 2 or 3 F1s and that, but other than that I've caught everything shallow on an overshotted rig between like 16 inch was probably best because it's a little bit clearer top pull, a little bit further away as well, so when I'm flicking my pole I'm probably not as controlled as I would be when I'm flicking it at like 11 metres. So caught me like 13 to 16 inch, odd one a bit deeper, about 19 inch. I had a good day there, but I got very, very lucky that day. Andy Benwell next to me, his pole's come apart and a fish has took his pole into the reeds. Tried to get it back with it for him. I spent a few minutes, about 10 15 minutes trying to mess around trying to get it back for him. It actually sunk, so I think Cole Mercer gave him a pole, tried to get it back for him, it's not worked, but he didn't go back across fishing to the lily pads because I think the pole was in the water in his way. But so that's happened and I've got very lucky because I only beat Andy by £4, so I've got a wave one there. And then the next day, so I won the section, 1 point, not a massive wave, £86, but still up there, 1 point, that's what you wanted. So the next day I've drew 21 on the club pool. Now I do like this pool when you draw that sort of area. There's a big stamp fish across, I had a bit of cover across, it was like nearly 3 foot deep across, so perfect for fishing up to cover and on the bottom. I've lost the dog now, she's gone. She's come round. She is. Yeah, so perfect. Can't mess around with her now. Come on. Yeah, so perfect for fishing cover across. But also I spoke to James the day before, James Howarth, he's staying with us in our lodge, and he won the lake on peg 19, fishing cover across on casters and then just potting some ground bit in the edge. So I thought, right, nice simple day. I'll literally throw some maggots on a top 4 or a top kit if I need to. Plumbed up 2 lines for that, 2 different depths. One was about 3 foot, one was about 2 1/4, something like that. And then I've literally plumbed up an edge rig for ground bait and I've just set up casters up and down across. Dead simple, full worm on the bottom if I needed to, and then just casters shallow. And I've had a dead simple day. I started on pellets in the edge like I did on the last couple of days. I caught 3 fish for probably £8, so I thought it must be on a big stamp fish. And then Cole Mercer next to me, he's caught really well, probably better than me early. But this is one thing you got to be wary of in your matches, is he caught really well early next to me, but his stamp was totally different to mine. Everything I caught was massive, 2 to 3 pound F1s. I've had an odd carp, not many bites, but every time I got one they were quality. And in the middle of the match, I think when Tom come round filming me, I dropped on the bottom and I think I had 3 fish for probably £14, nice big carp, 2 massive F1s and a full worm. But I was getting loads of indications, loads of signs, so I've literally rotated, just nicking an odd fish on the overshotted rig about 13 inch deep across, and then short down the edge, sorry. Short pole never got going. I just feel like the fish weren't eating their natural baits on the bottom again, which is mad, because tunnel, you feel like when you're fishing maggots and casters, if you can't catch shallow, you can catch a few fish on the bottom. It just makes your day dead easy. So I've had a lovely day. I've caught some big stamp fish. I've had 148 pound. I think I was 3rd in the match that day, so I framed overall, which was nice because it's my birthday as well. And I won the section. So going into the last day, there was only 3 of us on 2 wins. That's how in the mix and thrown about it was this year. And I generally think it was because the way the fishing was, there was no like bottom fish, no feeding fish on the bottom, so that takes out a lot of pegs. A lot of people, and they might have caught a few people out as well. There's only 3 people. There was James Alva who's winning the festival. He won the match on the second day. I forgot to mention Sammy Slockett, he won the match on the first day, 6 hours. Both of them drew 6 hours. And then on the, I think it was, yeah, James winning the festival. Then Mikey Williams was second. He had a great 2 days. We'll come on to Mikey in a minute, but he's fished the second in the festival. I was third in the festival, and there was a few people on 3 points, so chasing up behind us. So just needed, feel like a bit of luck on that last day. Now, how it goes about, we're in the jaw queue and I've seen Andy Mann go up, and I've seen his reaction, and then so he's drew 6 on house. So you're thinking, well, you don't really want to be in that section now. Andy's a really good angler, overshot him, even shallow fishing, even anything, to be honest. So I've gone in the bag, drawn 31 on house, which is across the bridge. It's a great peg, because like Willer's hanging in, but you're going to be up against it with 6 house in your section. Now, I didn't want to be all negative, because I just feel like that's one thing in fishing you don't want to be negative. Don't want to put it in your, you want to put everything in your favour, and don't want to be dead negative. You know, you got tripped up by the dog then, look, flying past. So yeah, I didn't want to be dead negative, just wanted to be nice and positive, thinking, right, I've seen Jordan catch a weight here before. If the fish are here, I know how to catch them. I'm just going to set up casters shallow and on the bottom, and a top kit line with maggots, and put some ground bait in the edge. So I've just done that. I've had a dead steady day. I just felt like I never got in tune with it. I wasn't quick enough. I was obsessed with trying to catch on the overshotted rig. And what happened was, probably about 90 minutes to go, I've actually twigged that the fish are sitting quite high. So what I mean by that is they were sitting to like 8 to 10 inch deep. So I literally picked up a long line dibber. So that's a little dibber with a long piece of line above, flicked it in, fed twice, got my elastic pulled out, and I thought, you idiot. All them fish are arriving. I think because it was so bright and they've had so much pressure over the last few days, I think they just wised up to that overshotting. And especially if you haven't got cover, like I did have cover on 31 house, but it's a different type of cover. It wasn't like the reeds where they're lingering around. It's like willows hanging in, so a bit of shade and stuff, but it's not the type of cover you expect to catch when you catch on that overshotting, as where Andy on peg 6 is like fishing to a load of folded over reeds, which makes it easier to catch on the overshotting rig. But I could fish a dibber dead easy. So I was annoyed at myself for that, because I didn't twig onto that quickly. And then I got a bit lucky again. I come second to Andy, he had 160. I've had 121. And Paz next to me has caught a load of carp late, and he's weighed 119 pounds. So that could have been very, very costly. But we've ended up, James struggled on 21, knew the draw just done him there, to be fair. Every peg in his section's got cover apart from him, which is not what you want really. So he slipped down the leaderboard, and then there's only one man. I've ended up second overall behind Mikey Williams over on Dragon Angling. He's won the festival. Now, a little touch on him. He's come to Tunnel Barn and just done his own thing. When he speaks about his fishing worms, he was fishing it not in peat. He was just doing his own thing. He was adapting to how the fish were feeding. And I think when an angler's like in tune that way and they're catching loads of fish, I just think it's written in the stars from now. On the last day, he drew 34 in high pull, which hadn't been great. I think he'd won one section and he caught like 70 pounds. So I thought, wow, I didn't feel like Mikey won his section, but then he's caught a load of carp mugging. He's done something a little bit different to what people had done. He's attacked a reed bed, caught some carp, and you just, when the angler's in that sort of form and that sort of thing, they just can't be beat. So well deserved. He's put a lot of time into his angling recently, and he is a phenomenal angler. So well deserved, and I can't grumble, to be honest. I've ended up second overall, just pipped John Harvey by I think 11 pounds, so can't moan at that. I think I've been second twice in this festival, won it once, fifth, I think it might have been fourth as well. So the only thing I haven't been is third, which you can't moan at. But yeah, can't moan at fishing the standard of that festival. I ended up second, but I just feel like I learned a load of stuff. Nice fishing as well, because I've been fishing a lot of qualifiers. You're always fishing to win. And to be honest, I did it on the Saturday at Western. I just blew my peg to pieces, annoying myself because I knew I could have a really nice match there, but I just went for it because I knew the only chance I had of winning was doing that. As where the Pole Masters and festival sort of formats, I've just really enjoyed, because you're trying to eke out fish. You can drop off a line, you can drop into another area, you can see all the people you're fishing against, which helps you make decisions. And I feel like that's what I've enjoyed this week, is making a few decisions, persevering on one line, dropping it, prepping it back up. That was really important this week, is you catch 2 or 3 fish and you have to drop somewhere else. Now that dropping somewhere else has been made really tricky the way it's fished, so if you could suss a few lines to capture that on. I didn't fish many worms, maybe I should have done, but looking back, I haven't done a lot of that fishing. It's not that I haven't got confidence in it, I just thought I want to fish to my strengths and try and catch how I want to catch them. So yeah, we've ended up second overall. Not a bad result in that I can't think of the word, in that company. Some great anglers. Andy Bennett took it out the last day. He's had 190 pound extension 13. Fantastic weight there. He's at 190 pound. He's took the pole as well. He's won the match. So 3 match winners of actually all the people I stayed with. Sam, James and Andy. We had a great laugh all week. Had a nice curry. Twice we went out for a curry actually. It was quite nice. So yeah, great week. Won a bit of money. Had a great 4 days fishing at Tunnel Barn. It's fantastic at that venue. Drew really well. I can't moan at that, but we've had a great day, great time away, so can't moan at that. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy this little rundown. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.